will crack your tiny bones.
This creature fights with her strength.
Never been punched by a fluid before.
Reinforcements inbound.
We may not be ready for this thing yet. Might be smarter to pull back until we know what we're up against here.
Yes. Surrender. Be eaten. Fill our belly with your tasty beer.
I shall fill your belly with my blade, demon. You were too weak for this fight. You do not light will carry you onward. This shall be of great help. No escape from me, demon.
Hold up. We don't know what we're dealing with yet.
Such easy What?
Hey, big guy! I was in the neighborhood. You know, being friendly. Seemed like you folks could use a hand, Doc.
Spider-Man!
Jeez, Eddie, what happened to you? That's part of a horrifyingly terrible new look. The tongue was gross enough, but whoa! Someone is extra touchy today.
We will rip your face off and suck the marrow from your bones!
Always nice to see you too, buddy. So, I'm thinking your friends here could use a little break. How about I take Eddie here for his afternoon walk? Don't worry, Doc. That's just his way of saying he cares!
Congratulations. New world or not, some things remain unchanged.
The look.
What look?
Boldly charging headfirst into the jaws of your enemy. Courageously risking the lives of yourself and your teammates. Just to play the hero. This is the Fire Dragon all over again.
Fire Dragoon. My memories may be fragmented, but as I recall, I killed the bastard.
And all it cost was a village.
Ah, of course. I see it now. The look.
Cut him some slack. It wasn't that simple.
It never is. Which is why I sent you to help. If Spider-Man hadn't come along today, we could have lost far more than...
Then the Sanctum?
Or Wanda.
She means I could have died. Again, putting an end to her eternal crusade against my mother.
You've been through a lot. For now, it's enough that you all made it back in one piece. More or less. We'll talk more later. Get some rest. Not to be the nagging old lady, but I told you not to push too hard. Now that things have settled down, you should get some rest. It won't always be this quiet. Now that things have settled down, you should get some rest. It won't always be this.
That is... something.
That was a complete fiasco.
And it would have been far worse had Spider-Man not arrived when he did.
No kidding. Caretaker would have been pissed if Venom had actually eaten a hunter.
Yes, one disaster averted. But we still need to figure out how to get Wanda and the Sanctum back. Not the outcome I envisioned for our first mission together, but you know what they say. Any mystical battle you can teleport away from. Given my situation, for now I suppose this truly is my home away from home. Not the outcome I envisioned for our first mission together, but you know what they say. Any mystical battle you can teleport away from. An impressive first outing, just as I had expected. You're going to do great things, Hunter.
You did okay out there, considering you were technically dead 72 hours ago. You should probably head inside. Take it easy before we have to go out again. Can't hurt to warm up on Hydra's flunkies. You've got an endless supply of practice dummies to beat on. You might feel like you need to hold back in training, but I'm glad you're not taking it easy on Hydra. Any sign of Arm Zeta? They're supposed to be Hydra's special project squad. Just think of Hydra as a training tool. One you don't have to worry about running into the ground. Hydra's got all kinds of disposable heroes just waiting to make a name for themselves. Too bad they ran into you. Can't hurt to warm up on Hydra's flunkies. You've got an endless supply of practice dummies.
Hunter, you look scathed.
Wow, you actually did go medieval on their associates. They're not always glamorous, but these missions are still crucial to stopping Lilith. Sometimes these support missions are more important than they seem. Not always, but sometimes. If we're moving forward, that can only mean Lilith is falling back. Hydra or Lilith's monsters, they're both good practice at least. You have to wonder whether Lilith is just using Hydra to keep us busy. Sometimes it feels like they're only around to get stomped. They're not always glamorous, but these missions are still crucial to stopping Lilith.
Excellent. I am glad to be working alongside other capable demon slayers. Bravo, you survived. Job is done. No joyrides. Yes? You have problem? Yes?
Nice one, buddy. New caretaker was right about you. Man, I just wish I could have brought my brother Gabe along. He'd love this place. Sorry if I went a little heavy on the aftershave, but it's not easy covering up sulfur, you know? Man, I just wish I could have brought my brother Gabe.
Maybe you were worth freaking out over after all. I mean, Venom probably would have eaten you otherwise. It's good to punch Hydra in the face, but they feel like a red herring. Okay, a black and red herring, but still. In school, they never taught us about Hydra's role in World War II. Do you think modern Hydra made sure of that? Where does Hydra find so many troopers? There's no hiring app for goons. But if there was, I'd call it a goober. I get why they named themselves Hydra. If you're all about insidious corruption, no one will take you seriously if you're called bedbugs or black mold. I hope you knock some sense into those troopers. Gig economy or not, Hydra is no way to pay the bills. It's good to punch Hydra in the face, but they feel like a red herring. Okay, a black...
I'll tell you what, even if they fully renovate the sanctum...
Starting to think Hydra hit the jackpot with your mother, Hunter. They're playing in a whole new league here.
How goes it, Hunter? Or is it the Hunter? Hey, for what it's worth, I think you did okay out there. You got some decent hang time, even given you were wearing, what, 70, 80 pounds of chainmail? On the Stark scale of reckless yet daring heroics, I give it a solid 6 out of 10. Don't worry, you'll get there. With a little help.
And where exactly am I going?
Oh, that's the real question, isn't it? Sky's the limit for you, my friend. Unless you'd be up for wearing a space helmet. You do breathe air, don't you? You know what? It doesn't matter. I couldn't help but overhear Auntie Caretaker over there telling you to get some rest. That sounds like a good idea to me. I suppose I could keep you company on the way, seeing as our rooms are in the same direction and all. Besides, no one should be forced to walk the hallways around here alone. So, here we are. The old room, huh? It's not bad. Functional. Solid construction. Almost cozy. Love the antique furnishings from the early Mephisto collection. Full transparency, Hunter, there's another reason I asked to join you here, other than my abject terror of this entire facility. Stopped here before, while you were out. Wanted to surprise you with a nice little housewarming present. Was all set to write you a lovely welcome note, but I'm fairly certain that wasn't red ink in your quill.
But I do not have a quill.
Even better.
Relax, Tony. I simply jest. It is an ink derived of the spider lily flower. Red spider lily flowers.
Of course it was. Obviously.
With just a touch of amphibian blood. For power.
Haha! Another zinger. And we'll just leave it at that. Well, I suppose I should leave before whatever monstrosity that is most definitely hiding under your bed jumps out, rips my face off, and then proceeds to feast on my soul. I'll leave you to it.
May your sleep be filled with pleasant dreams, Tony.
Right back at you. Oh, and if you hear the shrieking of a grown man, please ignore it. It's just me, walking to my room. I'm Tony Stark, but if you're hearing this message, you already know that. When I'm not saving the world, I solve the world's problems with technological means, like the one you're holding. I call it the Spark, a secure information and communication device built only for superheroes. It does all the usual, private messages, pictures, and calls for some reason. But it also comes with access to Superlink, a private social network exclusively for your cape-wearing, world-saving compatriots. You might ask, Tony, aren't you just repurposing a failed product from your communications division? If you do, I'll revoke access and let everyone else know you're a jerk. I call it the Wonder Man rule.
My old journal. Maybe it is time I start writing in it again. We were all so happy then. There never was enough room for my armor in this thing. Charlie! I know. I missed you too.
Let her enjoy the moment. She's been visiting your door every morning for the past 300 years.
Oh, it must have been so hard on her.
Not just her. I suppose that's why I might have been a little curt before.
A little?
You already made the ultimate sacrifice once. Maybe I'm in no rush to see you do it again.
We do not choose our destiny.
But we can choose to duck.
First lesson you ever taught me.
And still the most important. Especially now that you have all these eyes on you.
I have noticed.
To these people, you are a being of myth and legend. A grand hero of old. And they're right. You are a hero. But I also know the battle that rages within your soul. It's not enough that you are a hero. You need to decide what type of hero you will be. I'm sure there will be plenty of opportunity for that in the days to come. For now, I would head to the forge. Our new guests are eager to show you something. This was a lot easier when it was just you and I beheading the Dark Legion as we traipsed through the woods.
Don't forget about Agatha.
I never could. Charlie was restless all night. I should have known something was wrong. We'll talk more later, but for now, Stark has requested your presence in the forge. I think he has another present for you.
You are the best girl. You know that, right? Good girl, Charlie. There is my ferocious Charlie girl. Fascinating. What you doing, Charlie?
You'll be back to your old self in no time, kiddo. It's good to see you getting back on your feet. I didn't think you'd have any trouble remembering the way. As they say, it's just like riding a bicycle.
Next thing I know, the sanctum is airborne and covered in slime.
I don't get it. Strange couldn't just magic his way in?
Something about the whole alien thing threw off his mojo.
That explains so much. No wonder he gets so strange around me. See what I did there?
I'm a vampire. I see everything.
This is gonna be a fun apocalypse.
Why, hello, Hunter. I doubt you'll be at this level for long, but I'm glad to see you progressing. You'll be back to your old self in no time, kiddo.
Let's talk later, Hunter. Tony'll start pouting if you keep him waiting too long. Looks like you're off to a good start. Space can be a little isolating. It's nice to be around other people once in a while. At least I'm not the only one adjusting to this midnight sun thing. We all had to start somewhere, even me. Stay hungry. You'll get there. It's a strong start, I'll give you that. I don't know why people keep bringing up arm wrestling. Have you ever seen me arm wrestle? Probably not, and there's a reason for that. Training pays off. You just have to stick with it. If only the world knew about our exclusive superhero-only lounge. Very VIP. Just think of all the amazing stories that have been passed around in this room. And now we can start adding our own. I'm sort of an outsider here too, so I'm happy to welcome any other stragglers that come along. I'm just seeing how the group handles itself outside of combat. Some of these people might get a little trigger-happy without a clear objective. Space can be a little isolating.
Heard you had a nightmare. In the words of Agami Ito, don't be afraid. Bad dreams are only dreams. Hunter, this place is like a resort compared to some of the spots I've worked out of. Heroes have just gotten spoiled these days. Guess I can put away the garlic. Won't do much good against Hydra. Gotta start somewhere.
Oh, check out Blade making nice with the big guns.
I thought Caretaker told him no more guns in the house.
Captain Marvel is an exception.
So, he's supposed to be playing nice, right?
Right, and now Stark is hard at work in the Forge coming up with something for the Hunter?
The Hunter needs it after that last beating.
Man, can't wait till it's my turn for an upgrade.
Prepare for a long wait.
For all of us. Or hasn't it sunk into that flaming skull of yours yet?
Hey, don't take it so personally. It's not like they forgot about us.
We'll see.
Hey. With powers like yours, any progress is good progress. Keep at it. Stay hungry. You'll get there. People need a place to unwind. Wouldn't mind a dartboard, though. Caretaker's never exactly been bubbly, but the last couple of months, she's been in a real bad mood. You should see some of the vampire nightclubs they've got these days.
Looks like you're off to a good start.
Even legends gotta crawl before they can walk. Wonder where Caretaker stashed the phonograph. Hear Agatha used to love listening to that thing. Axe throwing is all the rage with the Brooklyn hipsters. Maybe we should give it a try. Just waiting around to see what pops off next. Nobody knows exactly what it is you remember, so they'll probably want to hold your hand for a minute. Don't take it personally. You just keep getting tougher. You'll show them. People need a place to unwind.
I don't know why people keep bringing up arm wrestling. Have you ever seen me arm wrestle? Probably not, and there's a reason for that. Do I look like a Tony? You have problem? Yes? You have problem?
Not that it makes any difference to me, but I think Tony's waiting for you, Hunter. He seemed excited. More doesn't mean better. If they want to be part of the team, they'll have to earn it. First we crawl, then we stumble. Tony Stark used to be the ultra-rich jerk I saw on TV. Now, he's the ultra-rich jerk who eats all the cashews in the bowl. Lots of new faces around here. I'm good with that, as long as they understand who's in charge. And the team is even bigger, if a lot of us are even a team. I don't care if we have a new teammate. I am not sharing my room. You're on your way up. You'll get your old moves back soon enough. Captain Marvel beat me at cards. Yet another phrase I never expected to say out loud. The Hunter is back in action. The other day, Tony Stark made some crack about avocado toast. Why are the elderly so obsessed with food I've never eaten? It's hard to watch TV when the world is falling apart around us. Feels like we should be doing more. Of course they want to join the Midnight Suns. We're the best. Practice makes perfect. Eventually. First we crawl, then we stumble.
Yes?
Heard about what happened in New York, Hunter. I'm sure whatever Tony's cooking up down there will only help. Sorry if I went a little heavy on the aftershave, but it's not easy covering up sulfur, you know? Man, I just wish I could have brought my brother Gabe along. He'd love this place. Sorry if I went a little heavy on the aftershave, but it's not easy covering up sulfur, you know?
Think you can tell your friend inside there to turn it up a few hundred Kelvin?
I could. However, it might shatter the containment spell preventing him from incinerating this facility.
I think we're good. And just in time.
The forge has certainly changed.
Right. Caretaker said this all happened after your siesta. What spooky castle would be complete without its own Babylonian demon-powered furnace?
Sumerian fire demon. His name is Babs.
Oh, now it all makes sense. Well, once you get past the esoteric terror of the situation, I've found this thing actually has some uses. Molecular bonding, breaking down evil gamma serums, fashion accessorizing.
Yes, speaking of...
Oh, right. It's ready.
Your armor seemed to offer minimal protection against the venom creature.
I noticed.
Yeah, I thought you could use an upgrade.
Well hammered, well fired. Caretaker did not mention that you two were such skilled smithies.
Yep, I am Iron Smithy.
Perhaps you should just try it on. Still think I could have used a cloak.
Stylish, damn near indestructible, and we even got the size right. Not bad for our first collaboration.
I still think it could have benefited from a cloak.
You think everything could benefit from a cloak?
I do not.
Oh, I've heard the things you whisper to your cape when you think no one's listening.
Ah, the joys of sharing a workspace. And I'll have you know this cloak has helped me save the universe from extinction on countless occasions.
Could you at least tell it to stop rearranging things on my side of the cave?
I have, but it considers you something of a slob.
You know, I have a great psychiatrist in the city. Maybe you should talk to him. Although, I think he's working for Hydra right now.
Ah, Hunter. Word? Hunter, your new attire suits you quite well. But how are you holding up on the inside? I know it's easy to look upon me and simply see the universe's utmost authority on all things mystical and macabre, Hunter. However, in addition to being Earth's Sorcerer Supreme, I am also your doctor.
You mean a physician of the medical arts? You jest.
I assure you, Hunter, I do not jest. They don't call me Mr. Strange, now do they? Except for Tony. Your awakening ritual was admittedly a touch more chaotic than I had originally intended, and, well, after your violent encounter with Venom, my oath to Hippocrates compels me to check in with you. Simply put, how do you feel?
You lost much yesterday, Doctor. I am the one who should be asking you how you are feeling.
I appreciate that, Hunter. I admit I did not expect the child of Lilith to have the capacity for such empathy. And you're right, of course. I, for one, do not know if I will ever feel 100% again after the events of yesterday. I still can't believe what transpired. The sanctum, all that knowledge, Wanda, lost. Swallowed whole by the black mouth of that foul venom creature. With all my resources, all my gifts, I should have seen this outcome spelled out in the sacred geometry of this universe years ago. But I miscalculated.
Lilith's power has placed a dark shroud over us all, Doctor. You are not alone in this.
Your words are appreciated. Still, I must not allow the underlying truth of the situation to become shrouded as well. It's not just the Sanctum Sanctorum that was lost yesterday. It was my protege, Wanda. She is my charge, my responsibility, and I failed her. But I am determined not to let that happen with you, Hunter, which is why I am here to answer any questions you may have. Perhaps my wisdom may benefit you more than it has me thus far.
That creature on the roof, you have run into it before?
Unfortunately, yes. In the simplest of terms, Venom is an alien species living in symbiosis with a human known as Eddie Brock. He's something of a fixture in New York these days, but typically his hijinks are confined to harassing Spider-Man.
How does Eddie feel about this arrangement?
He seems to relish the experience. And under Lilith's spell, they've clearly become more cohesive than ever before.
That creature on the roof.
Unfortunately,
My mother has a gift for bringing out the worst in people.
Yes, and in this case, I happen to be the direct victim of her ambition. I fear the Sanctum may never be the same.
It sounds like Spider-Man is Venom's nemesis. Maybe he has some insight.
Of course. I have no doubt Spider-Man will prove to be an invaluable asset in the ongoing fight against both Venom and Lilith.
Tell me about your Sanctum's wards of protection. I have never heard of a protection spell that powerful.
In your time, I'm sure you've encountered a variety of minor wards and protective spells. The Sanctum Sanctorum was shielded by one such incantation, but greatly amplified by the convergence of ley lines.
And no one has ever broken the spell? Ever?
There's always a first for everything, but I had honestly never imagined a scenario in which the wards could be broken. Perhaps it was arrogance on my part, but Lilith is among the more cunning enemies we've ever faced.
Ley lines?
Often dismissed as pseudoscience in the modern day, ley lines actually represent the convergence of magical energies formed within the Earth itself. Ancient civilizations built their temples along these lines, tapping into the power flowing through them. Two such lines converge at the Sanctum's location. Needless to say, the wards benefit greatly.
Tell me about...
The Sanctum Sanctorum was shielded by one such incantation.
Will the wards ever provide the same protection that they had?
It may be possible to undo the damage, but now that a weakness has been exposed, I'll have to rethink my approach entirely. Tony did offer a military-grade laser protection grid, should I be so inclined to go that route.
How did Wanda come into your care?
Wanda's story is quite tragic, and Perhaps not mine to tell. There was an accident on the Abbey grounds not long ago involving Agatha.
That must have been some accident.
Agatha had been teaching Wanda, hoping she would learn to control her immense but very raw power. As their training progressed, Wanda was encouraged to push herself further. Eventually, she pushed too far.
How did...
Wanda's...
And you have been keeping an eye on her?
You make it sound like I've been guarding her. My role here is merely one of friendship for as long as she needs it. One thing is certain. She refuses to step foot on the Abbey grounds for any reason.
That kind of power sounds like it could be dangerous.
We don't truly know the extent of Wanda's power, and in that respect, you two are very similar. Were she here now, I think you would have found her to be a kindred spirit.
I feel like everyone is avoiding mention of Agatha.
I can't say I'm surprised, but I'm afraid it's really not my place. You should speak to Sarah about her when you're ready.
Let us talk later.
Visit whenever you like. It's not often I get to converse with a true legend.
Let us talk.
Visit.
I hate to admit it, but somehow this ancient forge puts any arc reactor I've got to shame. Who would have thought mystically bound demon power would be so damn energy efficient? Or carbon neutral? Certainly got that new suit of yours done a lot faster than I expected. Speaking of, what's the verdict, boss?
It is nice having an armorer on demand.
Anytime. I tried to make this version a little less palatable to that symbiote thing. Was this close to making it menthol flavored. But tools are just one part of the equation. You gotta know how to use them too. You were out, what, 300 years before we woke you from your eternal rest? I'm betting you have questions, so ask away, Hunter.
I take it this new version is a technological marvel?
Impact-resistant carbon composites, some patent-pending alloy mesh, and a few touches from Dr. Spooky over there. And hey, the built-in communicator means we can talk to each other without sending a raven.
I thought the old one was pretty nice, actually.
So did Venom. I think he's still picking a few pieces of it from his teeth.
I take it...
And hey, the built-in community...
Is all this magic a threat to your new technology?
It might surprise some people to hear this, but I do like some things with rules. Isotope decay, magnetic fields, and gamma oscillation make a lot more sense to me than Eye of Newt, bat wings, and a sprinkle of sunshine. At least they did before everything changed.
Gamma seems to be a recurring theme these days.
Oh, you think I'm bad? You should ask Bruce. Actually, don't. He's been really sensitive since... You know what? Never mind.
Is all...
Isotope. At least they did.
Seen anything strange around here?
What, other than my roommate? Boom! Roasted! But on a more serious note, this place is legitimately haunted. Mirrors look back at you. My room rearranges itself. And worst of all, magic cats.
Was it suspiciously elusive, even for a cat?
Actually, yes. Thought I was going crazy there for a second, but clearly I'm still firing on all cylinders. It just poofed in next to me out in the yard. Small, black, furry. Cute little thing. Probably some kind of shape-shifting monster knowing this place.
seen it?
What, other than... But on a more serious...
The great Iron Man is not scared, is he?
Let's just say I'll be more comfortable once I've studied the problem. I feel like I'm living in one of those paranormal investigation reality shows. What, other... Magic.
I am sure there are worse places to be.
Oh, true. I could be rooming next to Carol. Her snoring is loud enough to wake the dead. Really tired people. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy we have a place free from Lilith's influence. While it lasts. Oh,
What sorts of things are you doing in here?
Oh, that's right. You were out a while. Basically, we've got a gigantic demon inside the magic box here that provides near limitless power for whatever we might need. Sounds insane, but sometimes it's easier to just go with it.
I am impressed with your resourcefulness.
From where you're standing, I could see that. Still, I doubt I'll be branding one of these with the Stark Industries logo anytime soon.
What?
Basically, sounds insane.
You must have an interesting origin story of your own.
Well, just your typical American boy. Pops was a founding member of the military-industrial complex. Mom, a famous socialite. Tragedy struck when I lost them both in a car crash, which turned out to be a hit from a rival corporation. I spent my early teens at MIT, trying to clear my head. I was all set to follow in Dad's footsteps as a war profiteer. Then one day, fortune shined on me, in the form of some errant shrapnel that lodged itself just above my heart. So I did what anybody in that situation would do. I built a supersuit and started fighting crime.
You seem well adjusted enough, considering.
Exactly, which means there's hope for you yet. I find these apocalypse scenarios will save you tons of therapy.
You must have...
Well, then what? So I...
Thanks for catching me up on things.
Anytime. Oh, and speaking of things, remember that creepy gamma goop you found from that hopped-up Hydra soldier? Well, I gave it a peek, and it explains a lot. If you have a minute, meet me at the anvil over there, and I'll walk you through it. I promise it'll be worth your time.
You should be more careful. You should see some of the vampire nightclubs they've got these days.
We all had to start somewhere, even me.
Wonder where Caretaker stashed the phonograph. Here Agatha used to love...
You have problem?
Now, I doubt advanced gamma thermodynamics was a hot topic at Yield Demon Hunting School, so I'm just gonna give you the condensed version.
I appreciate that.
Closest I've ever seen to this substance is pumping through Bruce's veins. Part gamma accelerant, part unknown element. Calling it coil for now, given its unique atomic structure. Man, I love acronyms. This stuff is more volatile than Nick Fury on a Monday morning, but Hydra doesn't seem to mind.
They are using it to get stronger.
Exactly. A few drops would make your average salamander look like Fin Fang Foom. Thankfully, with a little help from Dr. Spooky and our haunted oven over here, I think two can play at this game.
You are not suggesting we start injecting ourselves with it.
No, nothing like that. Though I can see some future applications for my energy drink line. I was thinking we apply this stuff towards upgrading our equipment.
I like where this is going.
Just give me a little time here and I can whip up some pretty fun toys. How about we give Hydra a taste of their own gamma-powered medicine for a change? Got more coil for me? Another magical mystery box. And to think, I used to design sentient future tech. Take a look. You're welcome, Hunter. Big Tony's Forge of Mystery. We never close.
Hunter, when you have a minute, come meet me in the yard.
Don't forget to write. You're looking well, Chief. Just can't get enough of old Tony, huh? Don't worry, I'm used to it. What's on your mind, boss?
I appreciate...
Happy to help. I gave Ultron better manners than this.
It's good to see you getting back on your feet. I didn't think you'd have any trouble remembering the way.
Welcome to the yard. At least that's what we're calling it these days. Caretaker put me in charge of your training. Too bad she didn't listen to me yesterday. Now that we know what we're up against, I think we can all use the practice. Any questions?
I did, but they are about you.
Right when it's time to train? From all Sarah told us about you, she never described you as lazy.
Everyone loves you when you are dead. Tell me, does that mean you are half-loved?
She didn't describe you as a snarky jackass, but here we are. All right, Tony Stark Jr., ask your questions.
Can I ask about you?
I guess.
Is your name really Blade?
Is your name really the Hunter?
Yes?
Oh, really? Your mom, before she became the mother of demons, looked into your cradle and decided to name her firstborn child the Hunter.
That is how I understand it.
It takes all kinds.
So, is your name really Blade?
No.
What is it?
It's private.
Is it embarrassing?
No, the Hunter, but I only share it with friends.
You do not consider me a friend?
Not yet. Don't take it personally.
How did you become a Dampier?
You say that like I had a choice. I was born this way.
How is that possible?
A vampire bit my mother. Problem was, I was still in the womb. I'm lucky I was even born. Don't know if that's how it always is, but that's the way it went down for me.
How long have you been around?
I don't exactly know. I think of myself as mid-20s, maybe. I lost a lot of time. Much of the last century was a blur. I have occasional memories, almost like coming up for air before being yanked back down into the depths.
What happened?
I killed a lot of vampires. I hadn't lost my mind exactly, but I got into a rhythm and never stopped. Never had a reason to stop. Not until I met Caretaker.
And then?
She gave me a reason to stop.
What brought you to the Abbey?
Caretaker. About 10 years ago, she brought me back to the real world. Gave me a place to stay until I came back to myself.
Did she ever say why?
She said she thought I'd be able to kill more vampires if I was acting on more than just instinct. But I know it was more than that. She gave me safe haven here at the Abbey, something I'd never known. Must have read half the books in the library by the time I headed out. So when she reached out and asked me to be part of this weird little club, of course I showed up.
Tell me about the Midnight Suns.
All right.
Why did you join? Vampire hunting is a solitary affair.
Guess I never found the right team.
Is that all?
No, but that's all I'll share for now. You really want to know? Put in the work. If I trust you, I'll have more to say.
What can you tell me about the others?
Nothing. Ask them yourself.
I'm not asking you to break anyone's confidence.
Fine. Which one?
Tell me about Nico.
She's the youngest, but she acts like she's in charge.
Why let her act like that?
She's usually right, and she keeps us on track. I didn't think we'd get along, but we wouldn't be the Midnight Suns without her.
What makes you say that?
She has a lot of heart, and that's why we let her. Anyone else?
What about Robbie?
He's exactly what he seems. Well, sort of. He's open with people, easygoing. Sometimes that comes across as dopey, but don't get the wrong impression. He's quick to make friends, and once he does, he's your friend for life. So don't let him down, or I'll hold it against you. Anybody else?
What do you know about magic?
Keeps to herself.
That is it?
She's a private person. Until she lets you in, that's all you need to know.
When does she let people in?
At her own pace. Respect that, and it'll happen faster than you think. Anybody else?
Tell me what you think of Sarah.
Well, there are a few people I tolerate, even less who I like. Sarah, I respect. She sees the big picture, and we're a part of it. I'd follow her to hell if I had to. And from what I understand, we may have to.
I am surprised she commands such respect.
I'm surprised that you're surprised. You know what she's like more than any of us.
I do.
Anyone else?
Nobody else.
Sure.
Do you have any thoughts on the team as a whole?
I think we're the only ones aware of the danger Lilith poses to this world. And I think we're pretty green. But enough training will get us through it. Speaking of training, we doing this, or are we gonna keep wasting daylight?
I am ready to train.
Finally. What's up?
Thanks, Blade.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Judgment is on its way. There's no escape for the wicked. Judgment is on its way.
Hi. Can't wait to pound some steel. Gonna glue my lats 3 times as big. That's what Robbie sounds like every time he hits the weights. Too much open ground out here. Should probably go back inside. The Avengers take up more and more space out here. I keep expecting to walk outside and trip over a Quinjet. Caretaker always says the Abbey guards its secrets. I always assumed she was speaking literally. You're on your way up. So what happens if Magic's portal isn't exactly on target? Do we just topple out of it into the ocean? Oy, that's gonna keep me up at night. You'll get your old moves back soon enough. The Hunter is back in action. Can't wait to pound some steel. Gonna glue my lats 3 times as big. That's what Robbie sounds like every time he hits the weight.
Yes? You have problem?
On the prowl? I still say we should have built a firing range first. Ready to work? See you around. All right then. Buonasera in touch. What? You think you're the only one that got around over the years? Later.
Like the way you move out there, Hunter. Guess Dr. Strange picked the right supernatural demon hunter to resurrect. I'm Carol Danvers, but you can call me Captain Marvel. Kidding. Carol's fine. Just thought I'd throw a bone to the Avengers PR team. Not gonna lie, going a few rounds in Vampire Guy's Magic Thunderdome sounds like fun, but we've got bigger fish to fry. Well, not so much fish as that ginormous invulnerable sewer monster that swallowed the Sanctum.
The Venom creature surprised me before. He will not do so again.
That thing's tougher than a flirkin' furball. You better steer clear of him and his creepy slime shield for a while. Strange, Caretaker, and the rest of the funky bunch can try and magic their way through that shield all they want. If my time as a pilot taught me one thing, it's that sometimes you've gotta find a workaround. As in Hydra. They've gotta know the way inside. Steve's always said they aren't much for talking. But then again, I'm told I can be rather persuasive when I need to be.
Just how far are you willing to go, Captain?
Let's just say that I'm willing to unleash the power of a quantum singularity white hole on them if need be.
A quantum what?
You'll see. Find me in the war room when you're finished here. There's a few things we should discuss. Oh, and Hunter? Welcome back from the dead.
Peace.
Probably time to head out, right? Man, I just wish I could have brought my brother Gabe along. He'd love this place.
Nothing is certain these days, but these readings are too distinct to ignore. The gamma signature is...
Sorry, Bruce, we lost you. Did you say Gamma?
Yes,
Hang on a second. Come on, Tony. You managed to stream the Super Bowl to a Kree battleship 50 light years out. This should be easy.
We waited all year for that game, and you know the Skrulls would have spoiled it for us if they got the chance.
Well, can't you just... I don't know.
Work my magic again? See, that's the problem. This time I am working with actual magic, and let me tell you, it sucks.
What's up?
They turned me down last time I asked for a tour of NORAD, but I guess this is close enough. Trust me, the Stark OS blows away anything that crook over at Hammer Industries can come up with. We even have full Superlink integration now. I'm done trying to integrate my tech with Caretaker's precious mirror table. That thing is way more temperamental than any inanimate object should be. Keep knocking him dead, Chief. Lilith won't know what hit her. Starting to feel like your old self yet? It's just like riding a bike. Or maybe a horse in your case. The hunter stalks its prey. Well, if you can rise from the dead, I hope you can remember how to punch people. Now, it's too early for trophies, kid. Keep working. Keep knocking them dead, Chief. Lilith won't know what hit her. You know what they say, peace sells. But who's buying? Not the world's governments, or its supervillains, that's for sure. Starting to feel like your old self yet?
The gamma signature is completely inverted. The daughter nuclei are being reabsorbed into the parent nuclei, which is impossible.
If the gamma signature from the Sanctum is really that unique, Bruce, then couldn't we just...
Sorry, still working out a few gremlins in the system.
Try sunlight, and whatever you do, avoid water.
Oh, wait, you're being serious?
We should be able to track this new gamma signature to its source then, right? I'd do it myself, but we seem to be having a little IT trouble today.
Please. Old Central here is ready to grind through that data like chum.
What exactly is a central?
CENTRAL. Cognitive encryption, net transmogrification. We'll figure it out later.
Sending coordinates now. Hope your gremlins enjoy gamma spectroscopy.
Well, he's been a little moody lately, ever since, you know, the problem with the big old green guy.
I heard that.
Banner can't turn into the Hulk? Not sure if we should be frightened or relieved.
That makes two of us.
Oh, hey. Come on. Happens to everyone. Well, okay, not everyone.
Nice work, Bruce.
I know that place. Creepy abandoned warehouse in the bad guy part of town.
My favorite kind. Anybody up for paying it a visit?
Definitely.
Aw, see that? Teamwork goosebumps.
Find me when you're ready.
Multi-million-dollar piece of experimental technology, and she kicks it.
The two of us on the mean streets of New York? Evildoers beware. Not a bad place to be posted up, all things considered. At least I'm not down in the dungeon with Tony. The plans laid in this room have probably helped save the world more times than we know. It's too bad most people won't ever see it. Stay hungry. You'll get there. Tony really wanted to impress me with this new operating system of his. It seems to get the job done, but Stark OS? Come on. I've seen that magic table over there forming all kinds of odd shapes, almost like it's bored and waiting for a little action. Yeah, I've got a few games on the new machine, just don't tell Tony. He's a stickler when it comes to productivity. It's a strong start, I'll give you that. Not a bad place to be posted up,
I think I actually own some property near the area Blade was scouting. I hope Hydra hasn't been squatting in one of my warehouses. We'll never hear the end of it. Excited for another mission? I'm excited, and I'm probably not even going. Excited for another mission? I'm excited, and I'm probably not even going. Excited for another mission? I'm excited, and I'm probably not even going.
So far, this whole thing feels almost like an Avengers operation, except for Blade, right? I guess he is a pretty huge exception when you think about it. Sorry if I went a little heavy on the aftershave, but it's not easy covering up sulfur, you know?
I've heard of Dr. Faustus in passing, but I've never bothered to look into him before. I learned a long time ago not to waste too much energy on fanatics. Regardless of what Mr. Stark thinks, the mirror table was guiding our hand reliably for centuries before the advent of computers. As they say, it's just like riding a bicycle. I doubt you'll be at this level for long, but I'm glad to see you progressing. Stark's holographic monstrosity better not scratch my table. I can't just hop over to Atlantis and pick up another one, you know. It was just recently that the Hudson Yards Development Restoration Association purchased this entire block. I'll let you think about that one for a minute.
Let's see. Trench coat, sunglasses at night, brooding personality. Something tells me these midnight warehouse raids are pretty normal for you.
Very.
This area in particular?
Occasionally. Good for a late night snack.
Oh.
The falafel place down the road. Stays open till 3.
Oh, right, sure. Only maybe next time say it less vampire-y. Looking forward to going a few rounds with these new and improved Hydra soldiers. I offered to fly us to the creepy warehouse, but Caretaker said something about the spells shielding this place being extra hungry. So hey, stepping through this interdimensional rift sounds good to me. Monsters from hell, portals to limbo, and Tony said you wouldn't be any fun. Training pays off. You just have to stick with it. Looks like you're...
We're going in from the rooftops. Not that it means anything to either of you. Just don't fly off without me. We're going in from the rooftops. That may seem old-fashioned to Captain Marvel and friends, but we Midnight Suns tend to obey the law of gravity. Gets easier each time you step through one of these things. Not easy. Easier.
Normally I'd just meet you there, but I'm actually a little curious about this portal you've been using. Oh, excuse me. We all had to start somewhere, even me.
This is a different portal to a different location. Going ready. Ignore visions of despair. Yes? You have problem?
Gamma signatures and unstable isotopes aren't really in my wheelhouse, so we'll be patching Dr. Banner through from Avengers Tower once you reach the other side.
Almost feels like cheating with you two on our side.
Not bad for our first team-up. Probably can scratch a band end off the description of this place. You seeing this, Bruce? Getting all sorts of weird down there.
Johann Fenhoff. That hack. I heard he was dead. Well, hoped is perhaps a more accurate description.
Calls himself Faustus now. Hydra's resident mad scientist.
Not just Hydra's. Lilith's. That's magic coming from those crates. I can feel it.
Yeah? How about gamma radiation? You feeling that too? Because that's some pretty evil-looking Hydra tech down there.
Gamma and magic.
I need you to use your science brain on this one, Bruce.
We need to approach this situation carefully. Combining those energies is an explosive proposition at best. Think scalpel, not hammer. Stealth, not strength.
Yeah, I don't do stealth.
Kill them.
I always considered Faustus a bit of a crackpot, but his fundamental science must be sound. The device would have surely exploded otherwise after your display, Carol.
Learned it by watching you, Bruce.
Some for the rest of us.
Time to get serious. Time to bleed. Feeling strong today.
Interesting. Not a problem.
Never seen that before.
For the mother!
have to do better than that.
I've never been one to buy into the science of magic, but the data I'm seeing is hard to ignore. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio.
You know you're talking to a vampire, an alien hybrid, and a resurrected demon hunter, right?
Your time has come. Hail that.
That's a neat trick.
Ready up.
Surrender!
That's not supposed to hurt.
Reinforcements inbound.
Is it possible he somehow stabilized the rate of decay within the particles themselves? How else could he be achieving such a high yield?
I don't know, Bruce. I'll be sure to ask him when we're done punching out the bad guys.
Your fate is sealed. Weak, even for Hydra.
Guess I'm still the focus here.
Quickly!
Let's go, go, go!
The perfect opportunity to field test Mother's device.
Watch out!
For the record, Bruce, I did not smash that thing.
Noted, Carol. Perhaps you might direct all that energy towards your newfound adversaries instead. And the mysterious cargo they're attempting to escape with?
The more the merrier. Lucky to still be breathing. I am impressed. Lilith herself could not best me. What makes you think you will fare any better?
Punch through a moon now?
I must have angered them.
They got me on lock.
Looks like they want to try a few more.
Preliminary analysis of the blast confirms high levels of gamma and various unknown energies.
Unknown to you. There is dark magic at work here. We must not let Hydra escape with it. How invigorating. Was that truly your best?
Take this!
One less thing to worry about. Approximately 16,342 more to go. I suggest starting with the remaining Hydra forces in your vicinity.
Behold the light's gift.
I needed it.
I will make you suffer for that.
Finally, it's my turn.
It will all be over soon.
To be crystal clear, we won't be able to recreate Faustus's experiment or track potential future variants' gamma signatures without a baseline resonance sample from his initial occult catalyst.
Got it. Stop the truck.
Hydra's standards have fallen a great deal.
Let's do it!
What is this thing?
Bad guy crate, full of bad guy stuff.
I know those symbols from the time of the first hunt. That glyph means barrier, that one almighty. Something, something, gods and demons.
So a spooky bad guy crate.
Very spooky. Designed to contain powerful magic. Be careful.
Got it. Don't cross the streams.
Never do. How about we get this thing back to the Abbey and see for ourselves? Nice job out there, kid. I mean, I didn't get Hydra bombed on my 10th run with the Avengers.
Kid? You do know that I'm a good 3 centuries older than you, right?
Then you've got a lot of catching up to do.
Okay, Abbey tournament tonight.
Sure about that? Last one got a little heated.
The eternal spirits of vengeance take technical fouls very seriously, especially in the fourth quarter.
Forget it. Tonight is movie night.
It is always movie night.
Exactly.
Wow, out of jail again? Who made this game? Wilson Fisk?
Well, if parking is free, clearly no one from Manhattan.
You know what they say? All work and no play is how we ended up with Ultron. Come on. You should hang out.
I should rest. Another time. Let me see. How did this work again?
I know you're awake in there. You just replied to me. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll wait. Yeah, I should save that one for Hydra. Good. You answered. Getting hard to keep finding ways to say open door around here. And despite what Robbie says, I don't think the staff of one speaks High Elven. Blood magic stuff. Cool room. Spacious. Aw, is that bed for Charlie?
Yes.
So, if you're planning on giving me some sort of brooding code of the stoic warrior speech, I'm immune. Just ask later, Magic. From what I just saw out there, whatever crazy ancient living weapons stuff Caretaker put you through back in the day did a real number on you. We got a lot of work to do.
Work?
Yeah, talking to people, making friends, basic human stuff. Or quasi-human. You're a Midnight Sun now. One of us.
Nico, I was just Hydra bombed. I could use some rest.
You and me both. Been bad dreams every night for me lately. I, keep seeing Wanda. She... Never mind.
I will meet you outside.
Yes! I'll go nuke us some popcorn and you pick out a movie. Oh, and it may just be the two of us. The others went outside, needed to cool off. Really need to hang a fan over that forge. Or maybe crack open the casket of ancient wonders a little? So Dr. Faustus tried to drop a warehouse on you? Ugh, that guy is so lame. Talk about a prototypical follower.
Good girl, Charlie. Hello, my sweet girl. You are the best girl. You know that, right?
Nico's got a rite of initiation waiting for you in the common room. Don't keep Nico waiting. She hates waiting. Let's you officially welcome you into the Midnight Suns. Be very afraid. Man, I just wish I could have brought my brother Gabe along. He'd love this place.
I needed that.
These missions can't be good for Caretaker's blood pressure. That's twice now her precious hunter has almost gotten smacked by Hydra. Something tells me you don't have a favorite movie. Well, we can start you out with one of my favorites. It's cool, I can wait. It's good to punch Hydra in the face, but they feel like a red herring. Okay, a black and red herring, but still. Maybe you need a cup of coffee or something? I know this entire situation's gotta suck for you. Not just the whole resurrected, chosen one thing. I get why facing Lilith won't be easy. I was 15 when I found out my mother was capital E evil.
Sorry to hear you went through that.
It was bad, but I learned to deal with it. It's the only way forward, right? Look, I'm glad my mother is gone, but yeah, at times I just want to hear her voice again. Some days I'd give anything to make that happen. Makes me hate her even more.
I did not realize you carried such pain.
I just learned to bury it. You think I can afford a therapist on a superhero salary? I'm kidding. We don't get paid for this. Enough about our crappy parents. You missed out on decades of good movies. It's my solemn duty to fill this knowledge gap with the best examples I can provide. So, the first thing you need to know, the glowing briefcase is a metaphor. I really needed that. So, what did you think of the movie?
I understood more than I should.
How? You've been dead for 3 centuries.
I'm not so sure I was dead. Not exactly. I recall a deep slumber, not the void. I dreamt.
Of what?
Of everything. Much of this world is familiar to me. I know it from my dreams.
That's not creepy at all. So, do you know everything?
No, think of it like this. I know what a car is, but I have no idea how to drive.
You're up to date, but not omniscient. Then I'm guessing you don't know much about me.
Just what you shared earlier.
You're always free to ask. Like, what's the staff of one? Or who were the runaways?
I had some questions about your staff.
Sure. But first, the basics. The staff of one interprets words or phrases as spells, but it can only cast a spell once. No repeats.
Can you tell me how the staff of one functions?
It's, blood magic, so my own blood is required to summon it. You wouldn't believe how many adhesive bandages I go through each year.
What about the words you speak?
They come true. Kind of. And not always the way I expect. It's like making a wish, but you can never make the same wish again.
I had... If each magical effect is unique, do you worry you will run out of words?
Not really. I only use the staff's power when I truly need it. The rest of the time, I rely on more conventional means. Like, you know, magic.
I had some questions about your old team.
The runaways? Sure thing.
Were you all heroes who banded together?
No, we were normal kids. We saw each other once a year when our parents got together to reminisce. And then we found out two very disturbing things. First, our parents were supervillains who sacrificed children to evil gods. Second, each of us had some sort of powerful birthright. Our parents wanted us to follow in their footsteps.
What did you do?
We ran, but eventually we realized only the 6 of us could stop our parents and their dark gods, so we faced them and stopped them from destroying reality as we know it. You know, typical kid stuff.
Who was on the team?
At first, Chase with his mad science gear, Molly, our pint-sized powerhouse, Carolina, the solar-powered sweetheart. Gert had a telepathic link to Old Lace, a genetically engineered Deinonychus from the 87th century. I handled the blood magic, though I didn't understand it much. And Alex, well, we don't talk about Alex.
Where are your friends now?
Molly attends Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Carolina left Earth to marry alien nobility. Gert, she didn't make it. After Gert passed, Chase and I had a falling out. The last I heard, he and Old Lace are living at his family home in LA. As for Alex, he chose his side, and it wasn't ours. He died with our parents.
I should get going.
Good timing. Looks like Caretaker wants to speak with you, and wow, I should get to bed. Time flies when you're hanging out.
I'm glad to see you're using your free time productively. I'm sure you'll want to rest, but we should discuss our next move as soon as possible.
Looks like you're finding your way around. Maybe making some new friends.
I was planning on getting some rest, but
things are moving at a frantic pace. For all we know, I'll be landing a jet on the roof with Mr. Stark this afternoon. Not quite like it was in the good old days.
I remember many sleepless nights and blood-soaked days. Always on the hunt.
I'll give you that. But there were times back then I wouldn't trade for anything. With both you and...
Agatha? Where is Agatha?
I am sorry. I should have had this talk with you much sooner. But you should know... Agatha... she's no longer with us.
What? That is impossible. She was so...
fierce, indomitable, or maybe just kind to a fault.
You do not have to do this.
Thank you, but I do. I haven't spoken to anyone about what happened. And more so than anyone, you deserve to know. Agatha died in an accident caused by her protege, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. The Midnight Sun's latest recruit, a powerful spellcaster in her own right. Perhaps the most powerful Agatha and I had ever seen. Wanda's abilities were growing. Too quickly for my liking. Agatha was determined to help her control them. I tried to caution her, but she would not listen. There was an incident. An accident, I'm sure, but...
Agatha was killed.
Yes, incinerated in an instant. Not even ash to remember her by. The others were heartbroken, as was I. But I also saw the danger, the threat, if Wanda's powers were left unchecked. So I did what needed to be done. I sent Wanda away, to the Sanctum Sanctorum, to study under Dr. Strange. I know the others still harbor a great deal of resentment towards me for it.
Was Wanda so different from me as a child? Was it that easy to send her away?
I didn't have a choice. Wanda's powers were beyond even her own control. And this time I had no Agatha to help me, as I had with you. I thought she would be safe with Strange. On that part, at least, I was clearly mistaken. Wanda. Agatha. It seems we've lost them both now. I conjured a small shrine to Agatha's memory on the grounds, hoping to find some solace, a way to move forward. You should pay your respects. Maybe you'll find what I couldn't. Good night, Hunter. I remember when I used to go out on these missions myself. At least I can always rely on you to get the job done. Whatever it is that Faustus knows, he's willing to make any sacrifice to protect it. The next time he's cornered, maybe his own life he's forced to take. They don't all need to be battles against some infamous demonic threat. Sometimes a nice straight fight is all you need. Don't downplay the importance of winning these minor battles. We need everyone to stay sharp. Every mission is important, especially when you're still learning to work with new allies. Keep this up, and I doubt Lilith will have a leg to stand on by the time we find her. I remember when I used to go out on these missions myself. At least I can always rely.
Agatha?
You always did have the most remarkable eyes, Hunter. Just like your mother's. Maybe that's why you're the first.
The first?
To commune with the spirits, of course.
Is this a trick of some kind? Because I am not amused.
No, it's no trick, dear. You're just the first to see me. By now you've heard I had a bit of trouble with my corporeal body. I actually find it quite liberating.
You are dead.
Always straight to the heart of things. That's my Hunter.
You seem strangely at ease about this whole thing.
After 1,000 years of living, you learn to take things in stride. Even death.
And what have you been doing all this time?
Meet me by the cave just over there. You know the one.
The Blood Gate? Caretaker always told me to stay away from that place.
I think we can safely lift the veil on a few more of our secrets. What's the worst that can happen? Ominous-looking portal is known as a Blood Gate, and you're the only one among us who can pass through it.
Blood Gate? Caretaker's handiwork?
Yes, Sarah got a little overprotective after the accident with Wanda. It's become something of a habit for her.
I have noticed that.
What lies beyond is meant for you as much as it ever was for her. Assuming you're up to the challenge, that is.
You know I am.
I do. But it's always polite to ask.
That is something.
Portal awaits. It may look scary, but the trial beyond, well... Don't be afraid. The portal awaits. Hunter, hello.
Hey, Charlie Warly puppy face.
There was a time when the blood stood within these celestial halls to prove their worth. This particular arena belongs to a goddess who often favored Sarah, Ashtur.
Sarah, caretaker, was here?
Nothing ever comes easy, dear. The Elder Gods felt their descendants needed to earn their blessings, which is why they created these trials to begin with.
Trials? I should have known.
This entire realm exists for that purpose. Trial by combat, with no chance of outside interference.
And this is my challenge?
Yes, but I may have found a loophole they never considered. Why don't you try summoning your four-legged friend?
Charlie?
The old gods are responsible for a great many creations, including your faithful companion. I think even they tend to forget that. Good luck, dear. As the goddess of balance and order, Ashtur was sometimes called the giver of justice. You can expect a fair fight, or at least her idea of one.
You are too weak for this fight. They cannot possibly match your strength. You had no chance to escape. Your mother abandons you.
Compared to our girl, these hellhounds are nothing but mindless beasts. Don't hesitate to strike. They certainly won't.
Feel my call. Now that was something. Once again, Lilith's servants fall.
Good girl, Charlie. Oh, and you too, Hunter. You finished this trial, but don't worry. The other gods are waiting.